All right, welcome everybody. Let's talk about the S&P 500 futures. The market, of course, was abbreviated today for for the stock market specifically. Closed 3 hours early. Some futures traded longer during their, just traded their normal session, but the S&P 500 futures closed just like the SPX did 3 hours early. But anyway, we're starting this off by looking at the weekly chart here. And there's a few things I want to show you that's really important. So first of all, take a look at this green. This is a simple moving average, this green line. See it right here? Now that was way back in mid to late 2022. See how the price just would track right along this? This is a 12-week simple moving average. Come down, hit resistance, go up, come down, hit resistance. Support, come down, hit support, stay above it. Little support right there. Got through a little bit right there, went back up, and finally it rolled over, right? Way back here, basically the first week of 2022, right? If I'm not mistaken, that was all-time highs, right? So that was all-time highs. And then what happened? If you notice now, for the most part, as it was going through the bear market here, it was below the 12-week average, right? See it? Every time it came up, it would hit resistance. Here it got through a little bit, stayed below, way below, came back up, hit resistance, back down. Okay, finally got through pretty good. And right there, we knew there was a change in the market, right? So as you see this kind of breakout, this significant above the 12-week moving average on the weekly chart, you start to get a sense that the behavior in the market may be changing. Okay, came back down one more time, and you look at this time, just this one candlestick for 1 week kind of hit resistance, but it broke back above it again. So you had 2 times it broke above, right? That's a wacky looking two. And then from there on, what happened? For the most part, the 12-week moving average became what? It became support. It came down here, hit up, got through a little bit, but not much. Basically, almost support, back up. Ever since then, it's been support. See this? It's above the green line. Okay, so it's really important to understand the behavior of the market. In this case, we're using a 12-week simple moving average to do that, to help us out. Right? So right now, by looking at where the market is, if we only looked at simple moving average, this 12-week simple moving average, we would say, wow, the market is bullish. And it is bullish. Okay. Now, there's this resistance, 45.09, that goes all the way back to the week of April 18th. Do I think it could get above this and get between these two? Yeah, I think so. Now, the market's fairly elevated. The SMI is over here at 77. The MACD is pretty elevated here at 115. On the weekly, it's not unusual to see above 100, at least not in recent times. So, keep in mind that on the week, from a weekly perspective, the market's very elevated, right? These are fairly elevated numbers we're looking at here. I do think there may be a little bit more in this, and it could get above this. Could get above this 45.09. July 16th is a weekly low, so keep that in mind as well. So, there could be, I think there's going to be a very big move in the market based on some data I'm looking at. And I conveyed that to the members recently that I thought there was going to be a really big move in the market. Temporarily, I think there's still possibly more upside here than downside, but just keep in mind that the market's very elevated. So we're kind of waiting to see which way this is going to go. As bullish as this is, it could get up into this area. But that doesn't mean the market can't surprise us and do a pullback into this July 16th area, okay? All right, let's look at the daily. Okay, so here on the daily chart, you can see that right now we're just right up against this resistance. This is the 45.09 line, this line right here, okay? And you can see 44.98, which was on Friday, and then today with the abbreviated session, you have this little tiny candlestick here, but it's bumping right up against it, right? It's trying to break through, and it probably will, probably will break through. Here on the stochastic momentum index, we're at about 65 almost. So that's not super elevated. If we look back over here, you get 83. You know, I'm looking at this peak right here. This is 83. I think this one over here is 80. So, you know, right now at 65, let's call it, it's not super elevated. That's why I think there's more in this. Okay. This certainty rate, which I don't have updated at the moment, but there's a little spike right here, a pretty decent spike. Let's see, what's this number right here? 63, yeah. There's another spike right here. It's a little bit lower than this. It's not quite this high, but it's about 45. We've had these two spikes here recently. So I think there is going to be a really big move in the market. And maybe it just gets up into here once this gets exhausted. Gets up into here, gets exhausted. And, you know, I don't have the July 16th on here because for the daily cycles, it just doesn't really show up. On the weekly it does, but on the daily it doesn't. But if we look right here, the middle of this cycle is, well, we're just about at it. But the middle of this cycle is about July 21st. So that's kind of close to July 16th. So, you know, we could get a surprise and get a decline down into this right here. But really the next cycle low is August 10th over here and August 20th on these daily cycles. So I'm going to be watching the market very carefully. But yeah, I do think we could possibly get up into this area here. Okay, let's look at the trade of the day. So I wanted to start out with a trade that I just made. It was late last night. I was up doing my thing. And you can see here I made $781.25. Nice trade. This is a different product, but it doesn't really matter. What I wanted to show you was how the GITIS Plus indicator, how I used it to make this trade. Now this GITIS Plus indicator for the members, and if you want to become a member of my service, we use this to help us place trades. So this applies to the S&P 500 as well. I happen to be using it with a foreign exchange futures product, but it doesn't really matter. So when I saw this come in, this was, see, when was this exactly? It looks like I'm not on the live chart here, so I'm just kind of winging this. Looks like it was really, really late Friday. Okay, so on Sunday, when the Sunday market opened up, which was right here, there's a line right here, Sunday market. When I saw the market open up, I was pretty confident that we were going to have a price decline. Okay, so this GITIS Plus indicator told me, which is my own indicator, my own logic, told me, hey, there's likely a trade here. Now, there isn't always a trade when this indicator comes up, but there often is, very often. So in this case, it was, you know, up to me as a trader to decide the direction. You know, the indicator is telling me, hey, be on the lookout for a possible trade. And as a trader, I decide which direction, okay? In this case, a lot was working in my favor to help me figure out direction. First of all, the SMI had just rolled over, okay? And the MACD was very elevated. Now, this happens to be the hourly chart, so just bear in mind I'm looking at an hourly chart here. I was looking at 5-minute, 15-minute, and 1-hour charts as I was doing this. And I was aware of the daily chart as well, which, by the way, for the S&P 500, that's streamed live to members, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 1 hour, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, okay? So, you know, I'm applying very similar techniques in anything that I'm trading, no matter what I'm trading, right? So this looked like this was going to roll over a little bit. The MACD looked very elevated, though, you know, it could have continued to go up here. So I placed a short side trade somewhere in this area. It was somewhere in here, okay? And I took advantage of what I felt like was probably going to be a pullback in this particular product. This is the euro currency futures, are also known as Forex futures. And, you know, it paid very nice, some really nice bank here. So I want to, you know, I've had people ask me, well, I actually had some criticism, believe it or not, from a few subscribers that will follow my channel and say, you know, you're just trying to sell a product. I'm like, no, I actually use my own service, and I want to encourage my members, you know, I actually use my service, and for people who are considering participating and becoming a member, yes, I use my own service. The service was born out of, my own strategies, my own techniques. That's how the membership got started. I realized that something was working really well, and I decided to make it into a service and make it available to those that want to become members. All right. Well, I still use it to this day. Of course, it's making me bank. You can see here I made over almost $800. Okay. This trading happened over a period of 3 hours. Over here on the Discord server, this is where all the services take place for the members. There's a link in the first comment pinned to the top in the YouTube video that I'm putting out here. You click on that, it's going to bring you over to this server, okay? In here, there's the S&P 500 alerts. That's from the streaming charts I was talking about. Okay, and members just, not only do they get to get us a plus alert on the streaming charts, they also get alerted here on the Discord server. All right, and there's a bunch of other alert channels in here. There's gold, if you want to trade gold. There's crude oil. There's stock alerts, top 30 stocks for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. The alerts go there. And then daily only alerts would be for people that want to do more swing trades and maybe don't have time to do intraday trading. Okay. And I'll talk about premium symbols here in a moment. But if you like what you're seeing so far in this video, click on that link in the YouTube comment section. It's going to bring you to Get a Server. Then click on Server Subscriptions. It's going to bring you to this webpage right here, $7.99. Now, everybody's account size is different, okay? This is an extremely good value. You just saw I made $800. Okay, if my account size is big enough to where I can take on some larger contracts, but even if your account size is smaller, and let's say instead of making $800, you made $80. Well, just think about it. In a few hours, $80 paid for 10 months, 10 months worth of membership. Okay, so if you apply yourself with the membership and be disciplined and be patient, the membership's gonna more than pay for itself. Okay, I keep this membership inexpensive for a lot of reasons. Inflation is crazy. I want people to be focused on their trading, not having to be worried about how they're gonna come up with the money for the membership. Right? I've seen membership services where people are paying hundreds of dollars and their service, to be honest with you, kind of stinks. So I keep this membership affordable. So people can afford it and focus on the trading, not focus on how I'm not going to come up with the membership fee every month, right? Now here's where all the services are, I should say, the list of services that are available that reside on the Discord server, okay? I talked about the streaming charts. There's 5 minute, 15 minute, and 1 hour. Okay, there's S&P 500 alerts. Okay, that's the streaming charts. Also send an alert to the Discord server. So not only do you get the streaming charts that are streamed 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, but the alerts come into the Discord server. That's what this is, the alerts for the S&P 500 alerts. The 5 minute, the 15 minute, and the 1 hour. And there's daily alert here actually too. I talked about the alerts for the top 30 stocks for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And the premium symbols, this is the same GETUS Plus logic I use for the GETUS Plus indicator. It's just used at the end of the day to go get symbols for futures, optionable stocks, industries. Big funds are going to be rotating money, so it's important to keep track of industries, sectors, and subsectors. And then any symbols, I have some logic that picks up any symbols that look like they may be shortable. Okay, so those are all files that get put on the server at the end of each day. Okay, and then I've had quite a few new members, so welcome new members. That's great. Welcome aboard. If you want the nightly email, make sure you put your email address in the email only channel on the Discord server. Okay, then every night I send out an S&P 500 chart and with some comments about what I think the stock market's going to do. Okay, it's attached to the email, and I give some comments about what I think the market's going to do. Okay, and then of course the videos on YouTube are for everybody. All right, so happy trading, everybody. Enjoy your July 4th, everybody. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.